Thanks for sticking with us. Today we're working on the Highboy. I have put us in a crunch position. We have got to get this truck done for Mecum. I have us signed up for Las Vegas in November. Me and the guys are going to be down there. We are going to run this truck across the block. I've already committed to it. I've signed the papers. I've sent in the title. And if we don't have it done, I'm going to cost myself a whole lot of money. So we've got to get it done. Today we're going to be working on wiring, having Steve rewire the truck, having Antonio hook up miscellaneous things. We'll see how much progress we can make. I don't know how you do the wiring like you do. I mean, I spent hours watching you do the wiring on the Aston and then the painless wiring on this. I mean, if you look inside the dashboard here, this thing had a small dash fire inside there. And Steve ripped all the wiring out and put all new stuff in there. This is crazy. I mean, they call it a painless wiring harness, but there's no such thing as painless. One thing with this project is there's going to be a lot of bouncing around. We only have 100 and some odd days to get this truck done at Mecum now. It's not like we have a budget that I can just leave Steve on this every single day. We still have customer cars that we have to work on during the week, and we pretty much only do this on Saturdays and off days. So we're really going to have to push hard. We are committed to getting this to Mecum. I've already got it signed up. This is going to be a star car. It's going to be on TV on Friday the 10th or whatever it is. I'll have to look it up. But we are going to get this done. You're going to see a whole lot of project and a whole lot of time lapse too, because I don't think everybody wants to just see Steve standing here running one wire at a time or talking about running one wire at a time.
And I could do that.
All
Per wire.
day.
I was actually just about to explain how I was going to run the wire in parallel on the back instead of in series because it's got some extra lights and that stuff is fascinating.
Your brain is swelling, Steve. Your head is going mega mind. Okay, we'll see if Antonio actually makes it. It's send him a message at 10:04. Where you at, fool? And see at 10:35. It's on my way. Period. Let's. I think he fell down after voice texting that. It's probably unconscious. Several years ago, I was just starting my dealership side and I was buying cars and he called. He had an Audi Allroad that he just wasn't interested in fixing and had heard about me through friends in the community and wanted to know if I could, use the opportunity to make some money, and he sold me the car pretty cheap, and we put it in inventory, and we had a good interaction then, but that was really the last time we talked. And then he calls me up. I came in several months before I got this truck. We did an oil change for him, and he was telling me a little bit about it, and all he kept saying was, I have this old truck in my garage, I got to do something with it. He was pretty vague on what it was and what it needed other than it was in pieces. And he calls me up one day and he says, Jason, I need this out of my garage. I can't look at it anymore. I need the space. I need to move on to a different project. I said, man, I am buried in this Aston Martin. I think I'm 70, if I include labor, I'm 70 grand over budget on that car. So I have no means to buy anything right now. And he says, I'll tell you what, it's a 77 Highboy, rust-free. Engine's rebuilt, $3,500 you can have it. And at that point, I was honestly thinking that I would just sell the pieces and parts, that I wasn't even going to mess with it. But once I got to his house and I saw it, it was absolutely incredible. It's amazing. Well, we've got photos. You guys see what we're working with here. There's 20 grand in engine. There's another 8 grand in the custom built C6. There's $2,500 fuel injection system. There's an $800 wiring harness. There's $3,000 of wheels and tires. It's got airbags. It's got brand new suspension. I mean, there's $35,000 in parts sitting here that this guy acquired. And I told him, I said, Eddie, I can't give you $3,500 for this truck. It's just not enough. And he just kind of smirked. He said, Jason, I've always liked you, and I know you can put this truck together, and I know you can do the right thing with it. As far as the money goes, he says, I've worked for Microsoft since 1994. I'm fine. And judging by his house, the guy's totally fine. And so he just basically gave us the opportunity to do this, helping a small business out. And still, I've had this truck, I don't think I've had it a year. Maybe I've had it a year, but I don't think it's been quite that long. He still hasn't cashed a check. So I don't think it's about money for him. I think it's about seeing the truck get done and giving a small business an opportunity, and we're going to take full advantage of that. Were these new taillights in it?
They gotta be looking like that to look that clean. They gotta be newer at some point.
No, I meant these came out of it. You didn't put them in.
No, they came out. Yeah, they were already installed.
Whoever was trying to build this truck. I got the new taillights in. I'm almost done.
Heck yeah.
Of course, I found a Facebook video, a Facebook memory from a year and a half ago when we had made some big accomplishment on the Aston, and I'm like, we're almost done. That was not true. All we got left on the Aston really is a couple of minor things, and the windshield is a big one. But I was thinking about starting a GoFundMe for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be ridiculed. Start a GoFundMe for a windshield for an Aston Martin.
But you've got to do it like in the vein of like, you know, ASPCA. Like you've got to get some sad music and say,
Got a Sarah Bareilles song.
somewhere out there, there's a sports car that doesn't have a windshield. You got to have the sad song and show it in like sad faces and wishing it can enjoy the freedom of the road. You know, you can make a difference.
I would get laughed off the internet if I started a GoFundMe for that. I mean, is there anything more pretentious than a middle-aged guy, a middle-class guy, begging for money to help pay for his windshield for a sports car, no matter what the reason is?
No, you're thinking too hard about it. You know, people just it's for the good of everyone. Listen, this is the idea.
What's up?
I was supposed to start a GoFundMe for the Aston Martin for the windshield. I think it's a great idea as long as it's in the story of like saving the animals kind of music, sad.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I didn't even have to explain to him the story, and he knew exactly.
I like it.
People will donate. You'll probably get
He's the same guy who's
Donate
going to
to
be
our
bad-mouthing
piece,
me on the
please.
internet.
We're trying to get this thing back in the wild.
Yes, exactly. We're returning it back to its home. Yes.
All right, so Steve's doing electrical. Antonio, what I could do for you is front drive line, perfect. Shifter linkage,
Okay.
including the lever that goes up through the floor.
Yep.
Lower radiator hose,
Okay.
tranny cooler lines,
Okay.
upper radiator hose. Bam. There we go.
Let's go.
You want to take that off and try to get a number off it? I'm gonna have to get a flex hose. Yeah. See, this would never clamp down.
Yeah.
Oh, is that sticker off that hose?
Yeah.
Oh, that worked even better.
I'm gonna put a clamp on. I like that. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Let's see, power steering hoses.
That's kind of what I was looking at.
It's not too complicated, but you definitely don't want to wire the turn signal to the reverse lighters. So now I can see what needs to be replaced and start grabbing the other harness and bringing it over so that these can meet. But before I do that, I just want to make a couple of notes so I just kind of know what I'm looking at here.
So you're doing all the wiring in the steering column and everything then?
Yeah, it comes with everything. It's almost everything.
That's a lot. You gonna have this thing done in time?
This guy here, no problem. Who's this?
Thank you. There we go. Now I'm actually looking.
Hey, watch my headliner, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Jeez.
Where's my shift linkage?
I don't know. Replacing parts on this like sub harness here that goes to the backlights, and checking the integrity of the connections. And then we're going to splice the painless harness into the spots on here where it goes, so that we can just plug this in instead of actually having to redo this one. We just want to make sure it's good.
In our next video, Steve will be teaming up with Bill Nye, the science guy, showing you how to make a dirty bomb out of an oil change sticker machine. This is making my head hurt to the point that I gotta walk away. Like, I can't even watch you do this.
Ladybug joined the crew.
Hey Steve,
Yep.
you want to grab the front end of this exhaust? We're going to take it out the side up there. Turn. Yep. All yours.
I don't think I've ever been underneath to see one of these transfer cases before. That is very unique.
Yeah.
That seems like a terrible design.
It really is.
Why didn't they just put it off the back of the transmission? Why did they have to move it to the middle of the truck to hang down?
I don't know.
I'm only still laying here because my back's too bad to get up. I'm not offering any help. Hey, Antonio.
Yes.
I'll give you $65 if you eat this French fry.
Ooh.
Oh, is that clear?
Barely. Doesn't the boot go on top?
Yep. I already took it off.
Okay. I'm gonna hold it and not let him move it. And he doesn't know I have a hold of it. He's not gonna know what's going on.
We gotta turn it.
I'm not holding it.
Oh.
Did you get it stuck?
You're
Ah, yes, that'll do it. That's what I need. I'll go right down here.
And then that.
Yeah, that'd be okay. Yeah, that would be okay. Because it's out of the way, it doesn't look like we're trying too hard. And we'll get like a looped eyelet or something to hold it to the fender well. That'll work. We really have to get this truck done as quickly as possible. We have no spare time for anything to go wrong.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, that's how it should go. We should make sure the pepcock's tight after you do the clamps before I put coolant in. If you push down and turn at the same time, maybe?
Oh, it's got a mechanism that'll push down for you. That does. So that'll hold it. Oh, you just have to do it backwards.
We mostly do this on European cars. Basically, it just sucks the system to the coolant system to a negative vacuum. As long as you don't have any leaks, it will collapse all of the hoses, with the exception of the upper radiator hose because it has a spring in it. And what that does is draw all the air out of the system so that when you release the valve, it sucks the coolant out of the container and into the system. If we were able to actually run this, it wouldn't be a big deal. We just do it normal style, let it run and get the coolant in, and the thermostat will eventually open and then what we call burping. But this just saves a couple steps.
Well, we suck some in there, so. It's a big girl. Man, she's still at 20 inches. Jeez.
Yeah, this thing probably holds 3-4 gallons at least.
Antonio.
Can you come put your cock back in? Pet cock. Pet. Pet or pet? Pet.
I've always thought it was pet cock, but I just say plug because
Antonio and his pet cock will.
you
right.
You can't say that around certain people.
This is me after I drink like 3 Bud Lights in a half hour. Reverse. Neutral. Drive. 2, 1.
That's all the adjustment we can do on that one.
Okay, so very tight.
Yep.
Park.
As far as I heard.
Reverse. Neutral. Drive. 2, 1. 2. Drive. Neutral. Reverse. Park.
All right.
Alright, we're there. Okay. It's a whole lot easier than some of this newer shit. Alright, as you can see, Steve made a lot of progress on the wiring today, getting the old wiring harness gutted out of the entire vehicle, getting the new stuff in and laid in its routing position. He got the rear of the vehicle all done and wired up. So everything from the back of the cab to the rear of the vehicle is done. We've just got to work forward from here, and Antonio's making great progress underneath. So hopefully just a couple more weeks we'll be done with this, get ready to go on just the cosmetic pieces and get the aesthetics done, like the top of the bed rails and the bed recliner. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to
Share, like, and subscribe. And please donate.
Thanks everybody.